All right, so I have everything cut out and we are ready to go. I'm going to show you how to make it into a shaker, but I'm also going to show you how to just do it regular so that if you wanted to whip these out super fast, you don't have to worry about dealing with the acetate and the little sprinkles. But if you wanted to make a few fancy ones, you could too. So that's what this is for the shaker part. And I'm just going to glue them so that they're all together like this. And then use that to kind of boost up my acetate for the spacing. But I'll show you what it looks like first before we actually put some acetate on it. Let me grab, I need the glue and the runner. Okay, so we've got our card template cut out and we're just going to fold it on the score line. That went. Use your bone folder if you want to. And then this is going to get glued inside the card so that it's over the window. Okay, so I'm just going to run a thin line of glue around the outside of this circle. See if my glue's ready to go. It's really not ready to go. I have a feeling it's all going to come out at once. Let me clean that out a little. Okay, so I just closed up that circle with the pattern paper. Press it all around the edges there. And then you could just put this joy over the front like this and call it good. That card is done. I am going to cut this out of the center of this piece of paper for the greeting on the inside. Trim it down just a little. This is American Crafts cream holly and cream green holly. It says 0S-003-00104. I don't know how old this is. It's older. It was in my stash again. And this goes with it. I think, I'm not sure if it was from the same collection or a different one. They went together well, so I just grabbed them out of the stash. This is 320496. I don't see like a, it says the color of memories for American Craft, but I don't see like a collection name or anything on that one, so I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so I'm gonna slice this out, and then we're gonna get to gluing to turn this into a shaker. So I'm just gonna run this. I'm gonna try to save these other sentiments in case I want to use them for other cards, either on the outside or the inside. So I'll slice down these lines first. Cut this out. These are a great way to make a really super fast card too. You just throw this in another like piece of pattern paper or ribbon or something on the front of a card and call it $1. And as you can see, I like to use them for sentiments because I can never think of what to put on the inside of a card. Probably because I don't send them very often. I like to make them, I just don't send them. Okay. Right there. I'm going to leave this out because we're going to need it again later in a different video. Okay, so there's that. I'm just going to glue it inside here. Probably just use the tape runner so that it doesn't get bubbly. It's kind of a thin paper. It's almost like a printer paper kind of texture. You could also like cut this out and then mount it on a piece of cardstock. I'm just not, since I'm going to make the front fancy, I'm not too worried about the inside. Okay, so let's run some glue. I've lost my acetate somewhere. Oh, there we go, in the pile. It's clear, and so when you put it down, you don't find it again. Okay, so I'm just going to run this along the edges to get this all stuck together. I think I need to clean my thing out. Try that again. It's a little better. You can do 4 or 5 of these. It just depends on how thick you want and what kind of sprinkles you're going to be using for your shaker. I did 5 just because I've got these like little clay sprinklets and they're a little bit thicker. If I was just doing a glitter or something, I probably wouldn't worry about making it as thick. And I'm using, I didn't have any Christmas sprinklets that weren't the Grinch, and then the snowman didn't match this one. So I actually have I think it's called Pot of Gold, and it was for St. Patrick's Day stuff. But I just sorted the greens out, and then I'll just sprinkle it in there with a little bit of red, and it'll work perfect. So I'm kind of making it do double duty. There was yellow in it too for the gold, and I just chose to separate that out. So I'm going to put this on here because that's going to be what's going to hold my sprinkles. And then we'll do the acetate on top of that. Hopefully I was gluing in frame. I wasn't even paying attention. Sorry. I'm just lining that up with the edges of the window there. This is going to come in a little, like the inner part of the circle's in just a little bit more, so that works to cover most of that too if you're not entirely centered on there. Okay, so then the sprinkles that I chose were this out of this pot of gold. You can see the yellows that are in there, so I just took those out and separated out the greens and stuff. Sometimes these are doubles and stuck together, so I just kind of mess with them to make sure that they don't need to be broken apart. And then I've got these, which I can't remember. I don't think I've opened those ever either. These are called Very Cherry, and then they've got some like little peppermints and stuff in them. Just use this to slice the tape. Maybe they're really sealed. There we go. There we go. Oh, there's stars in there too. Don't really need a ton of them in there because you're not going to see much through the words. That one's kind of thick. I'm going to save that one for something else. Maybe the center of the bow on a different card because it's pretty thick and it was bigger. They accidentally got that one in the mix. Okay, so then you just kind of flatten them out. If you've got a duster, you can dust them. These, I'm not too worried about the static because they're a little bit thicker. And then I'm just going to run my glue one time for the acetate. And it doesn't stick right away, so you kind of want to do this part when you're ready to not mess with your card for a minute, and then you can set it aside and either work on something else or just be done. Okay, because it takes it a minute to kind of hold on to that acetate. And then I'm going to run it one more time on top of that in the ring. And I kind of try to catch the edges of the paper too, just so that the paper on top will kind of catch it too, and it does double duty for sealing it up. And then if you wanted to, you could ink this so that it had a little more dimension, but we're going for speed and multiple replications here, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. And then if you need to, sorry, a little dab of glue underneath, like the words to hold them down. And I'm just going to put something heavy on this and let it sit. But there's the card. All done. So shaker, greeting on the inside. That was super fast, super easy. You can replicate that a bunch of times if you wanted to make more. I just realized that the inside of that Y didn't come out, so I might have to go back with something sharp in a little bit. But I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to put something heavy on it and call it $1. But there's that card. So again, if you wanted to change it to be something else, like a birthday card or something, you could. And I will show you in a later video how to actually like do this design on the inside and mold it all together. But as far as a Christmas card, like if you need to make a bunch of them, quick, easy, cute, you could always put something over the front of, or over this too with a pattern if you didn't want that circle to be showing. If it had a pattern on the back, I would just leave it because it's kind of cute, depending on what your pattern is. There you go. Hit like, subscribe, and be sure and watch for the next Tuesday template. Thanks again.